Doing everything faster. Drop perfection and win. Perfection is a natural flaw that the vast majority of people strive for. It's an admirable quality, and in an ideal world, perfection would be king. The thing is, perfectionism isn't time efficient and often doesn't help us get the job done very quickly. And that should be your top goal as a marketer. The faster you can stop dilly-dallying and get things done, the faster you'll get serious results. My aim here is to offer some practical, real-world ready tricks to help you beat the perfectionist and start working more quickly and more efficiently. Overcoming perfectionism. It's natural to want to create the best possible piece of work. However, with the demands of modern society, productivity is much more important than being able to produce one perfect piece of work. So it's important to start by lowering your own expectations of yourself. You can't expect to be churning out perfect work at a high turnover. However, you can expect to turn out good quality work. Think of yourself as a salesperson. You want to get the 10 $100 sales you can get in one day, instead of spending all day working on at least one $500 sale. After all, ultimately you'll make more money from the 10 smaller sales, won't you? What many of us forget is that perfection often leaves us high and dry, with a backlog of work to catch up on and a lack of cash rolling in because of this lack of productivity. Set a time limit. The best thing you can do if you want to give productivity a try is to set yourself a time limit. For example, you can use a timer and see how long it takes for you to write a perfect blog post. 45 minutes? A couple of hours? Find out how quickly you can finish in 30 minutes. Set a timer for 30 minutes and start writing. By the time you finish, you'll probably have a load of nonsense. Increase your productivity, but keep practicing and train yourself to be productive inside that time limit. Once you're well practiced in producing your work within your time limit, start producing extra work. Produce 2 or 3 pieces in the time it would have previously taken you to produce one. The thing with this is that the more practiced you get, the less mistakes you make, and the better you get at it. You'll soon find yourself producing work almost to your normal high standards. Practice really does make perfect, or at least pretty close to it. The fear of failure. One of the things perfectionists fear most is failure. That horrific feeling of having worked for hours, days, weeks on what you perceive to be a fantastic piece of work, only to have the recipient shake their head like a disapproving boss in a Dilbert cartoon and shatter your self-esteem in one fell swoop. The great thing about changing the way you work in this manner is that you can be much more relaxed about the odd occasion where things don't work. If you've worked on something and it isn't quite right, you're going to feel a lot less worried about it if you've spent one day working on it than if you'd spent 1 week working on it. Success is so close. The blow of failure can be softened with this method of working, and the thrill of success can be heightened. You are creating a multitude of chances to succeed. If you succeed only half of the times you finish a piece of work, you are still reaching the dizzy heights of success more than you were previously. Common as mud. Something you need to know is that almost every conscientious worker makes the mistake of being a perfectionist at the beginning of their career and needs to learn how to work better and faster. Yes, this problem is as common as mud, and it isn't going away anytime soon. Think about it. While in education people are taught to write perfect essays and theses with detailed research, references, and footnotes, etc. After having this drilled in for so many years, what else can we expect but for people to go into their working life doing exactly the same? But now it's time for you to set your inner perfectionist free. Control your inbox, or else. Our inboxes are becoming busier by the day, and we could easily spend more time working through emails than we could actually getting on with our work. The thing is, this isn't a good way for anybody to spend their time. Email is supposed to be a tool to help make your day more productive, not a hindrance to your ultimate goal. But somehow, email has evolved into a real monster, and the #1 time killer for many businesses. There are tips for managing your inbox, and today we will go through these, along with how people waste time in their inbox so that you can see where your own flaws lie, and then how you can fix them. Once you've read an email, take it out of your inbox. You know what the problem is? You spend a half hour sifting through hundreds, even thousands of emails that don't relate to each other, trying to remember when it was sent, who sent it, what it was called, all because you know it contains some pertinent information you need for the report you're writing. But can you find it? Unlikely. Then there are those pesky "your inbox is full" messages, which means you spend the next 3 hours sifting through your inbox deleting old messages you don't need anymore to make space for new ones which can't get in because your inbox has over 12,000 emails in it. So let's overcome some of these issues. You wouldn't let your mailbox at home build up like this. Your neighbors might think you died. So what to do with your emails once you've read them? 5 things you can do with your email, and there are 5. Deal with it immediately. Delete it. Delegate it. Delay this job. Do I need this just in case? The first of these 3 actions are very self-explanatory. Obviously, if you delegate the email, make sure you keep on top of the actions with the member of the staff you delegate to. Now, if you delay it, you want to schedule to do the work. You don't want it slipping into that black hole only to get chased a week after it was due by an unhappy sender. Now, assuming you're using Microsoft Office, other email packages have similar options to this, you can choose to transfer the email into your Tasks folder. Once the email is in Tasks, you can then change the heading. Make sure you choose a heading that makes sense and will be easy to find. Email headings often don't. You can set up a date and time you want the task completed by. You can set up a reminder to get the task started. You can track your progress in getting it completed. You can prioritize the task. If you need to, get more people involved, so if it is going to be a team effort, you can invite them to the task. Now, for the "Do I need this just in case" emails, you can just store them in a subfolder. Think carefully about how you name your subfolders, so that you have well-organized and easy-to-navigate folders. For some of the mail you get that goes in these folders, you may find that you can set up a rule on the inbox to automatically place emails into the subfolders for you, automatically clearing your inbox at no effort for you. So for example, if you get a weekly newsletter that you can go back and read when you have a spare 10 minutes, then you can set up a rule that says anything with newsletter in the subject line gets transferred to the newsletter subfolder. That's one less thing for you to deal with. Turning off email notifications. Finally, turn off email notifications. Having a sound or pop-up telling you that you have new mail is very distracting from whatever you're working on and will make you want to stop that and go and see what new mail you have. Don't. Designate times to check your mail. If you need to, close your mailbox between these times. This is what I do. Email is ultimately there to help you with your organization and communication, but its ease of access can very easily take over everything, soon meaning you spend most of your day in there. So in summary, get decisive, get organized, get strict. Incredibly fast content for the busy bee. There's something to be said for a great piece of writing. There's something else to be said for a writer who can write such a piece quickly. The thing is, it isn't as difficult as you may think. There are some simple tips any writer can adopt to try and reduce the amount of time taken to write something, such as an article. Take a look at the tips below and see what you can do to put some va-va-voom in your writing speed. Keep a list of ideas. You'll get ideas at the strangest and most inconvenient times. Keep a list of ideas in your phone, on a notepad, somewhere you won't lose it. Don't tell yourself to remember it because you'll kick yourself down the line. Let your ideas nurture. Give your ideas time to mature and grow wings. Let them mature and become something concrete before starting a whimsical article that you'll give up on a third of the way through because you realize you're going nowhere. Edit, edit, edit the ideas. Revisit your ideas list. It's going to grow big, so keep it edited and well looked after. Are there ideas that just aren't maturing? Are there ideas that are maturing into something you just aren't comfortable writing about? Could you give those ideas to someone else if you don't want to waste them? You won't write about everything you can think of. The trick with this list is to skim the cream off the top. Research well. Once you've picked your topic, do any research you need to do up front. Decide what areas of the topic you want to cover, what angle you want to take, your voice, and make sure you have any and all of your facts straight and referenced. Stick to a few main points. Don't go overboard. You aren't writing War and Peace here, or even your final thesis. Keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Keep your reader engaged and entertained, and most of all, don't go off on tangents. Plan. Don't just start writing aimlessly. Plan your work, write headings, notes, and use your research to help you structure your writing. This will make the writing so much easier, and only takes up to 2 to 5 minutes itself. It also keeps you on track. If you are rewriting another article or blog post as well, this is a great way to not fall into the copying trap. You can read the article, take bullet points of the ideas you want to use, then walk away from it and work from your notes. Don't write your article while reading the one which inspired you. Use bullet points. Bullet points are fantastic. They get your point over quickly, making it quick for you to write about what you're trying to say. They keep you organized in your writing. Plus, they offer the reader a chance to briefly see what your article is about. They can skim through and decide if this piece of writing is for them, rather than skipping it altogether because it's one big piece of text, which, let's face it, is scary by anybody's standards. Revisit. After you've finished your piece of writing, walk away. Go make a cup of coffee, watch a movie, go for a walk, anything. Just don't look at that piece of writing again for at least an hour. Give it and you time to settle. Once you have refreshed, go back to it, read it through, edit it, and you're done. A nice, quick piece of writing that is of high quality. Bright ideas for speed reading. Reading is something you either love or you hate, but you have to do it at some point every day. Something that is a fantastic skill to learn is speed reading. Some advantages to learning how to speed read are: 1. You can learn new business strategies more quickly, and so put them to work more quickly. 2. Spend less time poring through business documents and more time actually making money. 3. Gives you the opportunity to better understand the bigger picture quickly and easily. The best place to start with this is to help you understand exactly how you read naturally. As humans, we develop natural reading habits that tend to slow us down. It is highly likely that you will have a few of these habits yourself, and it is important that you understand what your reading habits are so that you know what you need to stop doing to help you on your way to becoming a great speed reader. Subvocalization. This is when you read each word aloud in your head as you read it. It can significantly slow down your reading as you can understand words much more quickly than you can say them. To stop doing this, you need to acknowledge that you do it and then tell yourself that you will not do it anymore. Then practice until the voice is gone. If you can't do this, then you will be resigned to reading at only 250 to 300 words per minute, which is the normal rate of speech, so it's well worth practicing this method. Reading word by word. When you read each word individually, you can miss the overall meaning of what is being said, and it takes much longer to read the passage. To stop doing this, practice reading in blocks of words. Hold documents, books, or newspapers further away from you, and read in blocks of 2, 3, or 4 plus words. The more blocks of words you can read together, the quicker you will be able to read. Eye motion. People who read slowly tend to focus on each word and work their way across the page without using their peripheral vision, making the process of reading very hard work for their eyes. To overcome this and speed up your reading, you can soften your gaze on the page by relaxing your face and utilize your full eye. Move it less, use your peripheral vision. You'll find that you take in more blocks of words and read much more quickly because there's much less physical effort involved. Rereading or regression. This is where people jump back and reread texts they've already read, sometimes by accident, sometimes to check you read it right. By doing this, you lose the flow of the content, slow down your progress, and decrease your understanding of the subject. To stop yourself from doing this, use a finger or a pen to help you follow the page as you read. This will ensure you know where you are on the page and will help you stay focused. Concentration. It's easy to get distracted when you're reading, so you need to make sure that when you read, you do so in an environment where your concentration isn't going to be disturbed consistently. You don't want to read an important document in a room with a TV on, for example. Don't multitask and remove distractions, including internal distractions, such as deciding what to buy for your daughter's birthday or rehashing an uncomfortable meeting. You want all of your concentration to be on the reading. The key to speed reading is to take in everything you read. Scan. When we're taught to read, we're taught to start at the top and read everything until we reach the end. However, when you learn to speed read, you learn to scan through the document, take in headings, bullets, bold or highlighted text, and make an informed decision which information is important for you to read and which can be skipped. You don't necessarily need to read everything just because it's there. Notate. Make notations. Use a notepad or the margins of the document and notate quickly and in few words a summary of what you're reading. This will help jog your memory and remind you of what you've read when you go back to the notes at a later date, and save you needing to reread the document again. Keys to success. Now you know how to be a successful speed reader. You just need to ensure that you become successful at this useful life skill. Practice and never stop practicing. You can never be too good at speed reading. Think how long it took you to learn to read, and imagine how good you could become at speed reading. So don't give up. Don't start with War and Peace, as when we teach children to read, you need to start easy. Maybe an easy and short novel that you will enjoy. Work your way up to those harder business documents. Choose appropriately. There will be times when speed reading isn't appropriate. For example, if you need to proof legal documents, you're probably going to want to fine-tooth comb those. Use a pointer, pen, or your finger to help push you and keep your speed up. Benchmark your current reading speed when you start. This will help you to understand how much of a difference you're making. Everyone is different, so it's good to know what your reading speed is. You can find online tests to help you benchmark this, such as www.readingsoft.com. Overall, enjoy the efficiency speed reading brings to your life and business. It's a fantastic skill to have and will bring you many more minutes, even hours in the day. Produce good quality graphics quickly and cheaply. There are occasions when you will want to create graphics quickly, and most importantly, you won't have the budget to call in a graphic designer to help you out. This article will help you understand how you can produce such graphics with little or no graphical experience, for those times when the budget and/or time frame don't allow for you to call on an expert. Using programs such as Paint and desktop publishing packages such as Microsoft Publisher, both of which come free with your MS Office suite. Or, if you wanted to invest, you could get things like Adobe's Photoshop and InDesign, which have far more functionality. Combine these with the resources I'm about to provide you with, and you can create a wealth of graphics very easily. Free resources. There are hundreds of websites out there giving resources away. You can get fonts, images, even textures for that perfect graphic. A selection of my favorites are fonts, www.fontsquirrel.com, www.1001freefonts.com, www.fontspace.com, www.fonts-fonts-for-commercial-use.html, www.urbanfonts.com/free-fonts.htm. Fonts, Font Squirrel, 1001 free fonts, FontSpace, and Urban Fonts. Textures, www.cgtextures.com, www.textureking.com, freestocktextures.com, www.texturemate.com, and www.brusheasy.com. Textures, CG Textures, Texture King, Freestock Textures, TextureMate, and BrushEasy. Pictures, www.everystockphoto.com. This site takes the effort out of searching, as it's a free image search engine, so you only need to go to one place and it searches all of the relevant sites for you. You will want images with a commercial Creative Commons license to use them for free. Design inspiration. It depends on what you're designing where you'll want to go. Below are a few suggestions to help get you started, but take a look around the web and see what you think is working. See what people are talking about and why. TheDesignInspiration.com. Daily showcase of good design in articles, logos, illustration, websites, business cards, fonts, creative photos, patterns. www.form55.com. Graphic design blog showcasing great graphic design. Creatica.com, a designer inspiration community and free resource site. If you need some training to use the packages above, you should be able to find free videos on YouTube to help you with the basics. If you want more in-depth training, there are courses and training videos and books available, so it just depends on the level to which you wish to take your knowledge, or rather how much you enjoy it. Making social media work for you. Welcome to the world of social media. It's daunting, it's fun, there's a lot to take in, but it can be a great revenue stream as long as you get it right. There are a lot of shortcuts and tools that can help you, some good, some not so good, and this is where I aim to help you today. Let's start with the overview. There are hundreds of social networking sites. There are niche ones for different industries and different interest types, aimed at different age groups, and etc. If you really know exactly who your target market is, ideally you want to find out where they are. It may be they aren't on one of the main social media sites, so always keep in mind who you are targeting. If you know who you want to be talking to at all times, then you won't get sidetracked, which is very easily done. For the sake of this article, I'll focus on the main social networking sites, which are most commonly used: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Other big social networking sites which are commonly used and should always be considered as well are LinkedIn, Google+, so.cl, Pinterest, and Vimeo. YouTube. Over 72 hours worth of video is uploaded to YouTube every minute. If this doesn't make you want to get a piece of it, then I'm not sure what will. The great thing about YouTube is that once your video is uploaded, you can embed it into your website, share it in emails, people can share it in social media. The video isn't static. It becomes a living entity moving around the web at the will of the users. Your job is to give them something they want to view. Some great examples of affordable and simple viral videos are: you can also do some quick video blogs or vlogs if you wanted, and tie them in with your website blog. Some great tips for doing these quickly are: using the YouTube Quick Capture button, which will utilize your PC or laptop camera and allow you to live record your video straight into YouTube. If you have a new phone with 3G, video, and YouTube capability, you can just record your video, hit the button, and send it straight into your account. If your phone doesn't have the new capabilities, you can go to YouTube and choose the Upload from Mobile option, and it will upload it that way for you. Animoto.com lets you create slideshows with your videos or photos, add music to them, then just upload them into YouTube. Probably one you're more likely to save for personal use, but still, good to know. Facebook. There are a few people who aren't familiar with Facebook, so I won't tell you how to suck eggs. I will, however, tell you about EdgeRank and why you need to be careful how you post to Facebook because of it. EdgeRank is the calculation/algebraic formula that Facebook uses to work out the value of each post, where it should display on each person's timeline, and how quickly it disappears. Many people have panicked recently thinking this is a new thing, but it's been around as long as Facebook has. It's just people are becoming more aware of it. The weight given to things changes regularly, a bit like with the search engine ranking factors. However, there are some simple guidelines you can follow which will help you get most of your posts viewed, and mean that you don't need to go down the sponsored post route, which is what Facebook is trying to guide people into doing. There are a lot of third-party tools you can use which will save you time as you send tweets and Facebook messages at the same time. However, in recent months, these postings appear less and less in timelines. There are a few ways around it. You could set up your own app, which when it posts to Facebook says that it was posted via your company name rather than via Hootsuite or TweetDeck or etc. Because your company name is unique, Facebook won't penalize it, and so it is treated as a normal post. There are third-party tools which allow you to change the posted via statement at a small cost. You will need to look around for the ones which best suit you, since most of the ones which offer this do require some sort of payment for the software as well. You can post directly to Facebook and set up syncing between Facebook and Twitter so that your Facebook updates go straight to Twitter. Twitter doesn't block posts in this way at all. Something else you want to be aware of is that the posts that get displayed highest and for the longest, mainly because they get the best user engagement, are ones with a single photo or image attached. So you need to get snapping. When you want to post an update, think about an image you could add to support your update. You want to give your post the best possible chance of being seen. Posts with the least chance of being made visible by Facebook are ones with a single link in. Facebook rates these lower than anything else, and so will put them at the bottom of the pile. So try and draw them to your page, and then attract them out where you want them from there. Use tabs, add apps. Finally, as lovely as it is to have lots of likes, don't run a "when I get to 1,000 likes, I'll have a prize draw" competition. It's against Facebook's T&Cs, and they could close your page down for good. You have to use a competition app to run a competition off Facebook, which will cost you money, so it's best to use your wit and charm to attract people to your page. Doing it this way, they'll become genuine followers as well. Twitter. Twitter is nice and easy to use, but it's easy to find yourself talking into the abyss. Your trick here is to engage. What you want is to find the users on Twitter relevant to your business and get in a conversation with them. Answer questions they may have. Ask them questions. Send them information you think they will find useful. Don't try and sell to them. Yes, I said don't try and sell to them. The quickest way to lose a lead on Twitter is to try and sell. You want to take the soft and fluffy approach. Be friends. These are people who will stick around, be loyal, and come back to you time and again. But the minute you put the hard sell on, they will disappear. These are tools you can use to help you manage Twitter. The web interface isn't particularly friendly. I recommend TweetDeck or Hootsuite, but there are a whole host of options out there for you. When you're starting out, you want to follow some people and get talking to them. Don't follow 1,000 people straight off. Follow 10. Get talking to them. See who responds and follows you. Then after a few days, unfollow those who you've had nothing from and follow 10 more, so on and so forth. Don't do it more than a few days apart and don't do too many at a time. Twitter does look for this type of activity, so you don't want to be too obvious. You can use hashtags to help you find people on Twitter, so if you're a bakery in New York, you could search for people who have listed they like cakes in their profile by searching #cakes, #New York. Alternatively, there are websites people can register at if they want to be found. But remember, these won't have everyone on, but may get you started. www.twello.com, wefollow.com, and tweeps.com. Restrict your time. This may seem like a lot of work, but in reality, you only need to spend 20 to 30 minutes a day on social networking. Split it up into 10-minute blocks through the day. Respond to people who need responding to. Remember, you don't have to speak to everyone who might thank you or say something. You'll know when it's appropriate. At the beginning, you may need to put a little more time in, but once you've nurtured the accounts, it'll be plain sailing, and you will be a social media master.